So we're back. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. And we're going to talk about part 2 of live theatre and what we've seen.
Theatre. Yes.
Yes. Well, this is something that I didn't actually get to see.
No.
I had to stay home because I couldn't get a seat.
No. Oh, not that time. No,
yeah.
I was a bit lucky this time
Yeah,
because
you were.
our girls went to see Six the musical, but somebody sadly had to drop out, and I got to go. And this was the day after we saw a picture of Dorian Gray. And I was a little bit hesitant because I thought, wow, where do you go after that? You know, how can you? But I have to say I was not at all in the slightest disappointed.
Yep.
It was an amazing show.
It was very different, aren't they?
Very, completely different.
The music of the show is so lively, the costumes, from what I've seen of it.
Yeah. Well, you know all about the music, of course.
Yes. I have to tell you, every time I take my daughter, the youngest daughter, she's already seen it. Well, coming up to 3 times.
All our daughters have seen it twice, and she's going to go for a third time.
Yeah, with some more friends.
So it's that good.
So, and every time I take her to dancing, she's got her phone plugged into the stereo system in my car. Every song of Six, I think I know them all backwards.
Yeah. She certainly does.
And she certainly does, and she loves it.
Yeah,
she
really
just
does.
absolutely adores it.
Yeah. So it's an hour and a quarter, which doesn't sound long, but it is jam-packed from start to finish. It just never stops. Again, a bit like Dorian Gray, but in a different way. The whole show is choreographed every second, and so beautifully and appropriately and slickly choreographed. And I have to say, I looked into it, you know, because I thought, well, who had an idea to write a musical about Henry VIII's 6 wives? And it was a Cambridge student, of course. Hang on, I've got to find him. Toby Marlowe, and apparently he was in a lecture which didn't sound very exciting by the sound of it, and he was daydreaming and thinking about these 6 wives, and he suddenly had a picture of them being like a girl band.
Oh,
and
right.
so he contacted his friend Lucy Moss, who was the co-writer and then directed it. She directed it, and they were looking to do an Edinburgh Festival production. So it's the perfect size and length and everything for Edinburgh, and it just exploded and did a storm.
Yeah.
And I can see why.
Well, it's been on Broadway, it's been on the London's West End, now out here, of course.
For the second time around, I think.
Yes.
Well, I think COVID kind of stuffed them up. But thankfully, they're back and doing it again.
Yeah.
And
And
again,
I believe they're going to New Zealand as well.
Yes.
After here.
Yeah. And the night we were on, there were 2 covers because they had been afflicted with COVID. And again, it just goes to show, my daughter said, well, the last time I saw it, the one covering that role, she was covering a different role. So their swings, they take 2 each. And she said she was brilliant. And they thought they were just as good as the people playing the roles. Different, but just as good. And certainly the entertainment value was not in any way diminished.
Do any of them leave the stage at all?
Pretty much not. They go off for a couple of seconds I'm not going to give it away, for a quick costume change.
Right.
But basically they're on stage
They're on
the whole
most
time.
of the time.
Band is on stage. Everything is played from memory.
Wow.
The band are great. It's just, and it's so fast moving. It doesn't stop. You barely draw
just
breath.
listening to it, you know, it sounds so entertaining
It
and very witty.
Yes.
Extremely
the script
witty.
is hilarious, especially for English people, I have to say. But it is hilarious. So funny.
Yeah.
Really cleverly done.
So,
and there's a depth to it as well, because
Yep.
what they've done is extracted and imagined and researched these women and their place in history, and actually who they were beyond just being one of Henry VIII's wives.
Yep.
And they bring out so much depth to the characters and so much interest and awareness of their lives and their history, or their herstory, as they put it. So it's educational, funnily enough, in a very interesting way, but just a delight, absolute delight. And the cast, I mustn't do that. I mustn't bang the table, sorry about that. The cast, Carla Gare, I've got in the wrong order. Phoenix Jackson Mendoza, Carla Gare, Lauren Hunter, Kiana Danielle, Chelsea Dawson, Vidya Macken, and there are some swings, Kiara Aseta, Karis Oka, and Shannon Alice Kwan. Just amazingly talented and brilliant and beautiful young women who obviously love every second of what they're doing.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they are bringing so much joy and pleasure. So congratulations to everyone involved in that.
So you've got to get along and
Yes,
see
go.
this and Dorian Gray and all sorts of things that's going on in Melbourne.
So
Please
much
go
happening.
and
There's
support.
Hamilton, the girls from
Yeah,
Hamilton,
yeah,
and there's
exactly.
Come From Away,
From
which
Away,
we'll be
we're
seeing
going
soon.
to see, so we'll let you
Hairspray.
know.
I mean, Melbourne is the place to be right now.
Yeah.
So,
So please support Melbourne Theatre and get along and see anything you can. And thank you.
Let us know if you enjoyed it.
Yes, please write us or put it under this
post.
video, and we'd love to hear from you. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Bye
Bye.
for now.